The most important thing to master with regards to your nutrition is your relationship with food. If you can master your relationship with food first, you will start to get results, and then you can look at other things that matter. So things like tracking on MyFitnessPal, things like weighing your food out, hydration, all of these things matter. However, we need to be looking at these 3 points first, especially in the isolation period. So the very first one, which I think is very important to be looking at, is think about your sleep pattern. It's getting late at night, there's a Netflix series on, it's starting to get really good, and you just think, I'll just watch that next episode, and it just like escalates and escalates. And before you know it, it gets really, really late. Now, this is the thing with sleep pattern, is if it's all over the place, our cravings are going to be all over the place. Our energy levels are going to be all over the place. Our performance is probably going to be affected when we exercise. So all of these things are affected just from sleep pattern alone. So if you can start to improve on your sleep pattern in the isolation period, because I know it's hard at the moment, I know you probably want to stay up a little bit later than usual, but this is potentially affecting your goals. So try to make sure that we master this first. Number two, which is I think another important one to think about, is if your plan doesn't necessarily go well, because that's just life. It's never going to happen like the way you think it's going to happen. It's important to know that, and if you stay and have a positive mindset about that and accept that things will always happen where they don't go to plan, you'll probably go further with your goals. So most of the time, what generally tends to happen is if people fail on something, or something doesn't necessarily go the way they planned, what they'll generally tend to do is may escalate this. Oh, I'll just wait until tomorrow. I've had that snack now, so I might as well just wait and just carry it on now until Monday. Or I'll wait until the isolation period's finished. Now, if you have that mindset of doing that, you're not kind to yourself on this period that we're in. This may affect your goals and your relationship with foods. And the very third one, which I think is the most important one to think about out of them all, is being able to understand if you have a stressful situation, how do you deal with this? Because sometimes what people generally tend to do is if they have a stressful situation and things don't necessarily go to plan, they generally tend to consume certain types of foods which are not necessarily in good nutritional value, or they're really highly palatable, and you start to consume these quite a lot just to make you feel a little bit better. And the problem we have with this is this could start to escalate a little bit more. The important thing to think about is that stressful situation that you're in. How are you going to get past that? And the best thing to do is, if you are really stressed out, think of things to relieve that stress. How can you improve on that? Could you possibly do some exercise? Could you get outside and do a walk or do a run? Could you speak to someone? Could you watch a bit of TV? Whatever it is, taking yourself away from that stressful situation is so important. If you do that and you start to not use food as a form of coping, it will really, really help you out with your goals. So think of them 3 tips first before you start to do things like tracking things on MyFitnessPal, looking at your macros, weighing foods out, hydration. All of these things matter, but master these 3 things first. Got any questions? Comment below.